This video covers basic concepts on annotating a graph. Before we get started, as you have to do with every R session in which you want to use the SSDforR package, you need to acquire it. So there are two ways to do it. You could click on Packages, and you can look for it in your list, assuming you've installed it. If not, you should look at the first video on getting started. And I'm just going to click the check mark, and now it's loaded, and we're ready to go. If you another alternative would be simply to type require and between parentheses SSDforR, and be mindful of the upper and lowercase characters in SSDforR, and type it in exactly as you see it, and then you would hit enter. Okay, so now it's open, and we're ready to begin working with files. If you recall, in the video on entering data using Excel, a file on a child's anger was created. I'm going to use that file as an example. So I'm going to open that file by using the get CSV function, and it's on my desktop. Here it is, anger, and now it's open, and the next step is to attach the file. Whenever you open a new file, you have to type attach SSD, and now you're ready to use it. And we could type list names, open and close parentheses, which gives an alphabetical listing of the variables in the file. There's an R command called names, which, and between and parentheses you type SSD, which will give you the names of the variables in the order they appear in the file. So here they are: anger, which is the behavior variable; p-anger, which is the phase variable; and then comments. And I'm kind of interested in that variable, so let's type comments. If you recall, on the third day, I indicated in the Excel video the child went home sick. Actually, that was during the time the child had the highest number of angry outbursts, which was 8, I believe. So we could check that by just typing anger, and indeed, the third day there were 8 outbursts. Okay, so now we're ready to begin by creating our graph, and let's get help here. Let's look at our help file on the different functions. So I'm going to click on SSDforR, the hyperlink, and that'll bring up the help menus for each function. And here is AB plot. So if you click on AB plot, you can see it says simple line graph. It will show you how the command is built, and the command, of course, is AB plot, and in parentheses you need to put in these arguments, and they're defined for you. So let's begin. Let's type AB plot, and then the behavior variable, which is anger, comma p anger, and then you'll notice everything is separated by a comma, right? Anger, then comma, then p anger, then comma, and now I'm going to put between quotes the X label, which is days, and I'm going to click after the close quote, put a comma, and gonna click on a quote again, and between quotes I'm going to type amount, which is the Y label, and then after the quotation mark, comma, and then open quote, and between the quotes I'm going to type crying, which will be our title. Now let's hit enter, and now we have a simple AB plot, And so now we could begin annotating it. So I'm kind of interested in putting a line to make it clear where the baseline ends and the intervention begins. So I'm going to use the AB lines function, and in between parentheses I'm going to type anger, and now I'm going to get it, I'm going to put the cursor close but not touching the first value in the intervention, and I'm going to click the mouse, and now I have a line between the two phases. Now it's important that the dots don't touch that line, and it looks fine to me, so I'm going to accept it. If you have some difficulty with it, just type N for no. It'll erase the line, and you can start over. So I'm going to type in yes. Now I think I want to put some text in there to annotate a bit, and first I'll begin by putting an A in the baseline phase and a B in the intervention phase. So I'm going to type in AB text, and between quotation marks the letter A, and I'm going to put the A right about here, and I'm happy with that, so I'm clicking in the console and typing yes. And I'm going to use the up arrow. If I click the up arrow, it will repeat the previous command, and now I could modify it and type in B instead of A, and here we go. Put in the letter B, and now yes to accept it. Now as I said, there was that critical event where the child went home sick. So I think I want to put that text in there. I'm going to type in AB text, and between quotation marks, went home sick, and enter. And I'm going to put it about here. Oh, I don't like it because it's cut off, so I'm going to type no and not accept it. And I'm just going to press the up arrow and do it again. And now I'm going to put it right about here. Okay, went home sick. Alright, and I like that, and I'm going to put in yes, but it's hard to tell where it really occurred, you know. So I think we can use a function in SSDforR called AB arrow, and we can draw an arrow from the observation to the text. So let's type in AB arrow and just open close parentheses, hit enter, and now you get a little message. It says to click the mouse on top of the graph where you want where the arrow should begin, and then repeat at the point of the graph where the arrow should end. Okay, so let's I want it to begin at the dot, and then I want it to end on home, and there's our arrow. So now it's fairly clear excuse me, where that critical event belongs, and I like that. I like how the arrow is drawn, so I'm going to click on Y and enter. Now I think what might be helpful is to put some kind of statistic here. I was thinking of a line that would represent the median, and there is a function called AB stat. Now let's take a look at that. We can get help on it by typing question mark and then AB stat. This is just another way to get help. You can get help on any function by typing AB stat. And now by typing a question mark in front of any of the functions. Now hit enter, and here it is. So I see there's behavior, there's the phase, and then the V, which would denote the letter of the phase that you want the statistic based upon. Okay, so let's go back to plots by clicking on plots, and let's type AB stat, open paren, and it's anger, comma, P anger, comma, A, and in between quotation marks, median, or lowercase. So we have A between quotation marks, and again, every one of the arguments are separated by a comma. And hit enter, and click the mouse in the beginning of the phase you want the line in. Okay, so here we go, and there's our median line, and I'm going to accept it. Now, instead of retyping all that, I'm going to press the up arrow again, and I'm just going to change the A to a B so I can get the median for the intervention phase. And I'm going to hit enter, and I'm going to do the same exact thing I did before, but now in the intervention phase. And I'm going to click the mouse, and we can see there was a big drop in behavior. And the reason why I used the median is that there looks like there's a great deal of variation. All right, so that concludes this video.